Welcome back, hockey fans, to the Neutral Zone. New hosts, new show, new setup, new season. Let's have some fun. I am Adam Karnick. You may have heard me on Chi-Town Weekly. Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. I am excited because hockey is right around the corner. It's been too long. It was a goofy 2020 season. We'll talk about that. We will talk about let you get to know me a little bit. We've got another host, Zach. You will get to meet Zach a little bit. We will talk about just what brought us into hockey in the first place. We'll talk about what things we liked out of that strange and unique 2021 NHL season. What things we're looking forward to in this season, too. It's going to be a lot of fun. Zach, what do you think, man?
I think it's going to be a great season. I'm a Red Wings fan, hoping for a good turnaround. Nice rebuild.
All right, all that and more coming up here on the Neutral Zone. Third iteration. Everybody, let us have some fun. Welcome back to the Neutral Zone. I do believe this is the third iteration of this show. We are excited to be here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Without any further ado, we do need to mention our sponsors for the week. First up, the Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get filmed, to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Find them on Twitter at SoCal Warriors, Instagram at Southern California _Warriors, or search them on Facebook, Southern California Warriors. And Background Check International Business. Are you looking to background check a new hire on? Let Kit Freeman take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crimes, such as identity theft or any other illegal activity. Go to their website, bcint.com, or find them on Facebook by searching Background Check International-BCI. And then IE Sports Radio, we are available on all of the major social platforms. You can find us by searching at IE Sports Radio. That works for Twitter, that works for Instagram or Facebook. Just search IE Sports Radio. And then this version of the Neutral Zone, we are available also for you on Twitter. Search at IESR Neutral Zone. And then if you want to follow along with me personally on Twitter, you can find me at Adam_Karnick. And then with that, because my voice is kind of known a little bit on IE Sports Radio, I'm going to kind of turn things over to my co-host and good buddy, Zach Puplis. Zach, good evening, sir.
Hi, Adam. How you doing?
I am doing all right. How are you?
Good to be on. I've been a hockey fan for about 13 years now. Started following the Red Wings when they went on the Stanley Cup run in '08. I watched the playoffs like every year, and I try to watch as many games as possible during the regular season. My boss one time asked me, "Hey, are you ready for the playoffs?" I said, "Playoffs?" I was like, "Ours already started. What are you talking about?" He says, "Oh, I'm talking about NBA." I'm like, oh, yeah, no, I already started watching mine like a week ago.
There's nothing like playoffs in the NHL. There, you go into those series, baseball and basketball and hockey. Of course, they always dive into their series. There's nothing like a hockey series. They're just a different animal come playoffs.
Oh, I know. There's just so much passion. I love any bracket season, and NCAA, whether it's Final Four, Frozen Four, and especially Stanley Cup playoffs.
Yeah. So what got you into hockey specifically? Then talk about that a little bit.
I guess I have a better answer for what got me into the Red Wings. So I'm part Swedish, and back then a bunch of the Red Wings were all Swedes. And so I said, okay, and we're here in Michigan, so it made sense.
Makes sense. I got into hockey. Mine's got to be one of the weirdest stories for getting into hockey. I'd been to a couple hockey games as a kid. Got to go to some minor league games. Zach and I are both raised in Michigan, Southwest Michigan, and so Kalamazoo is not that far away. Got to go to a couple K-Wings games, had some fun. Got to go to some other minor league games. I went to a game in Toledo one time where we got tickets right there on the corner on the glass. Oh man, it's like an 8-year-old kid. You want to get somebody into the sport, get them a front row seat. Oh my gosh, holy cow! But what really got me into hockey was the weirdest, darndest thing in college, which this is now. We're talking 12 years ago now, 13 years ago now, I got asked to officiate intramural hockey. And it was, okay, I'll do that, sure. At first it was, we just want you to be a ref for intramural sports. Well, football, oh, sure, I know that like the back of my hand. Then we got to floor hockey, is, well, I know the puck goes in the net. And I know that when we're on the ice, people get hit. On the floor, we're not going to do that. What am I supposed to do? So I started watching Blackhawks games specifically to watch the refs, just to see where is he skating, where is he standing, what is he looking for, all those kinds of things. And in the course of that, so I'm watching a couple games a week. Then it was, I'm feeling more comfortable, I'm doing that. Then it was, oh, hey, so, wow, they're kind of moving around. Wow, these guys are fast. Wow, this is kind of entertaining. This is exciting. And this is right as Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Duncan Keith, all those guys are coming into their own, and the Blackhawks dynasty is being born. I was, dang, this is a cool sport. How have I missed all this? So I got into hockey because I wanted to be able to officiate it better.
Well, I've been to some minor league games too. We've been to the Grand Rapids Griffins, and I remember going to a couple hockey games at Michigan State and seeing Justin Abdelkader and Torrey Krug and a couple other big players. Yeah, I really started to fall in love with it then.
It's the darndest thing because it's obviously we both love football. You've got the hits, you've got the bone crushing, you've got the jarring, the stuff to keep your attention that way, to get into that primal aspect of it. But at the same time, it's so fast. They just fly. up and down the ice. And especially like it's kind of I don't know how you feel about this. For me, I feel it's kind of like that perfect blend of like football and soccer. You've got the low score, you've got the quirkiness of soccer where one weird hop, one weird bounce, just one little thing can flip the whole game because it's low scoring. You're only scoring a goal at a time, but it moves like football, unlike soccer where we're playing for 80 minutes and nothing has happened. Can somebody do something, please? Right. You'll have 20 shots in a span of 5 minutes, and a goalie's got to be standing on his head. Whereas in soccer, you're like, oh, we didn't need a goalie today. There were no shots on net. So you've got the wonderful combination of the two sports. That's just kind of what made me fall in love with it.
I'm personally just amazed that they can stand and go as fast as they can when they're on skates. I mean, I can barely skate myself.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They're still human. You can see like a guy wind up taking a slap shot, and well, no, you're on ice, and sometimes the ice just wins.
Well, and I work in the casino industry, and I find it fascinating that the risk and reward towards the end of close games with the do I pull my goalie? Do I not? At what point do I do it? You know, my friends and I, like, if we're watching a hockey game, like, we'll almost like take bets. Okay, so I bet that at the 3-minute mark he's going to pull his goalie. Well, I bet at the 2-minute mark he's going to pull his goalie.
Oh, and there are teams have guys, paid analysts that are there to go through all that too with them too. Is, hey, when is the right time to pull the goalie? And you watch 10 different teams, you'll wind up with 6 different answers to that question, which makes it so much fun.
Well, it's just fascinating in general how much analytics has played a role in all the major sports, you know, whether it's baseball, Moneyball, whatever. And then with football, what are the analytics of going for it on 4th down? And then now with hockey, with, you know, pulling your goalie or not.
pulling your goalie, getting into the Corsi numbers, getting into the time on ice and all those cool things. Yeah, there's a whole, when we will get into that in an episode later on in the show. We will dive into some of the crazy advanced analytic type stats. They're everywhere. So you working in the casino industry, is hockey a game that gets bet on a lot? Is that one that, you know, you guys take a lot of bets on, or is it kind of people just sit back and watch?
We're still new in the sportsbook side of things, but I would say we definitely take more bets on, you know, football and baseball. But, you know, it wouldn't surprise me. The more popular hockey gets, wouldn't surprise me. More people would start betting on it.
Yeah. If there's sports to be played, somebody's laying money down on it. Yeah. I see we've got a couple of guys in the chat tonight. Good evening, gentlemen. Taryn Rodriguez is there, and Larry B just hopped on in hockey. And for those listening, if you're wondering, how do I get into this chat? If you're listening live on Spreaker, just log on in, make a username for yourself. There's no money or cash going to change hands. Nobody's going to start. We're not going to track you down. Hop on into the chat. Jump on in. We have fun. We interact that way. It's all part of the fun of the show. At the same time, if you just want to sit back and listen to us, that works too. So you being a Red Wings fan, this will be a two-parter. Did you ever get to go to the old Joe Louis Arena?
Unfortunately, I did not.
Too bad. Have you been to the new Pizza Palace or whatever they're calling Little Caesars these days?
No, but I need to get there.
Okay. The one road pro game that I've been to is I got a chance to go to Joe Louis. I went out there with a couple of mutual friends of ours that you would know, and the three of us, we went to. Larry's just trying to get on my bad side right away. He just chimed in, "Let's go Red Wings." For those that don't know from listening to me on Chi-Town Weekly, on a show called Chi-Town Weekly, you would expect that I'm probably a Blackhawks fan. Yes, I am. So typing in "Let's go Red Wings," yeah, Larry, that's a real fast way to get me going. But that's okay. That's okay. We're here for it. He then follows it up with typing in Blackhawks. So it's all good. But I got a chance to go to Joe Louis probably about 8 years ago for a Blackhawks Red Wings game. That place, wow. Well, that was a fun arena they had out there, Joe. That was a treasure. That was a very, very cool place. I've been to United Center a few times. I've been to Joe Loup. That was a cool place. Joe Loup obviously wasn't quite as big as United Center. United Center freaking huge. But Joe Loup was a cool place. It was so divided. It was so evenly matched between Blackhawks fans and Red Wings fans that when one side would when they try to start the "Let's Go Red Wings" chant, you'd hear "Let's Go" would be in perfect unison, but then you would get a combination of either Black Wings or Red Hawks after that, because there were that many fans from both teams there that you couldn't get the team name out. You couldn't get it out clearly. There were just so many fans. That was an awesome game too. It wound up going to a shootout, and Patrick Kane absolutely undressed Jimmy Howard. But it was an amazing game. Just overall, it was 0-0 going into the third. Both goalies making outstanding saves, left, right, and center. Just one of those all kinds of. Larry chiming in the chat. Black Wings and Red Hawks. Oh yeah, it was the. I went to go get something from the concession stand, and I come back and I'm hearing "Let's go," and then you could not clearly tell who the team was, and it's finally Black Wings, Red Hawks. That was so good. But I gotta say, that was the first time I'd ever been to a road game. I was nervous. I'm decked out in Blackhawk stuff, and I was be prepared. Let's just be prepared for whatever. Everybody was great. There was good-natured ribbing back and forth, which was, hey, cool. I'll do that. I'll go back and forth with that. That's kind of fun, so long as nobody's being nasty. Oh yeah. Go back and have some fun. It was great. It was an outstanding atmosphere. I felt very being honest, obviously an open fan of the wrong team, if you will. I felt very warm and welcome and invited. It was a great time. I would absolutely go again.
That's good. I love it when teams can have a good-natured rivalry like that.
Yeah, Larry says it sounds like the Pennsylvania Steagles from way back in the World War II days. Yeah, something kind of like that. Except they were definitely not eager to combine forces. They were definitely they were definitely going at each other. It was a game. We all had a blast, even though. Mine was the only team that won. Everybody else from our group were Red Wings fans. They were not happy, but at the same time, we all talked about, we should go back in a few weeks. We did not. It was a good thing we didn't, because I would have had a good time at the next game. Nobody else would have. The next one was the Blackhawks jumped out to like a 6-0 lead halfway through the second period. And it was, this one's over. Yeah. So we picked the right one to go to. But now they only. Opposite conferences, they now only get to meet just a couple times a year.
That's been one of the disadvantages of the realignment. This year they were in the same division just because of with COVID and everything. But when you go back to normal, they're going to be in separate conferences, separate divisions. But that's one of those rivalries that I think needs to stick around, needs to stay every single year.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, speaking of last year and all the oddities, I want to get into some of those things a little bit, but before we do, we should take ourselves a quick little break. This is the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio. We are back and we are having fun. You've got Adam, you've got Zach, right here on the Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We will be back in just a couple minutes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Davidson. It's your boy Dentarius Lava.
And we are the hosts of Fast Break here on IE Sports Radio, where we discuss everything in the world of basketball from prep to the pros.
You guys should definitely check us out, man. Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We got all the basketball information you guys need, so we look forward to you guys listening in.
And please do, because we are the best basketball show on this side of the Mississippi. And please do check us out on Twitter at FastBreakISR. D-Lock, where's our time again?
8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. That give you guys plenty of time on a Sunday.
Tune in.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head prime-time face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back and in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
What's happening, sports fans? Are you a fan of Southern California sports? Are you looking for a show hotter than a hot summer day in California? Then look no further than the SoCal Supreme Sports Show, where I talk about all things Southern California sports. That's right, all sports teams from Southern California. From the hard-hitting tackles of the NFL, to the killer crossovers and big three-pointers of the NBA and WNBA, to the grand slams of the MLB, to the bone-chilling goals of the NHL, and to the booming kicks of the MLS, the SoCal Supreme Sports Show has it all for you. Oh, and let us not forget about the college sports as well. So join me, Taryn Rodriguez, every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
And welcome back into the Neutral Zone. One segment down. Zach, I think we survived our first segment. All right. Hey. So baby steps, one thing at a time here. All right. So we were starting to get into it right before the break there about some of the just different things that happened in the 2021 NHL season. We mentioned that the Blackhawks and the Red Wings were back in a division together. I see you've got your notepad there. You've got all kinds of fun notes. What were some of your other favorite differences there from this past season?
I think the divisional breakdown was probably my favorite one. The NHL is one of those few major sports that has enough teams in Canada to actually have a full division. They had 7 teams. Normally it's baseball, the Blue Jays. In basketball, you just got the Raptors. But they got a full division. That'll go away next year. But so good luck repeating and getting the playoffs, Montreal. But that's a stacked division. So, and just remember, you still have quite a losing streak to Detroit as of 2 years ago. I don't know. What do you think? Can Tampa Bay repeat or three-peat?
Oh God. I don't see why not. That's the thing. It's Tampa Bay. Of all the places to have a killer hockey team, who would ever think Tampa Bay?
Don't you mean Champa Bay?
Oh God. Yeah. I loved the All Canada Division too. That was I would. On the one hand, I'm glad that they're comfortable now sending the teams back and forth, that the borders opened up enough at least that for business trips they can come in and out, because that was obviously a huge obstacle that they had to overcome last year, and they were very open about that. They were, guys, we don't know how we can do this. We don't have time to quarantine a team for 2 weeks and fit in a schedule. So that made all the sense in the world that's what they had to kind of just Canada be its own division. But that was really cool to just see the Canadian teams night after night going at it and going at each other. That was really cool. I really liked that.
Yeah. I liked the bubble. I guess 2 playoffs ago now. We had the 2 bubbles in Canada. And then...
the neutral site bubbles. That was kind of a neat idea. I liked that too. What'd you think of the all divisional schedule?
I think it was good. I mean, you got to play your closest teams around you geographically. I mean, you get to play them more often. You get to develop more rivalries that way. Mm-hmm.
It was cool seeing the Red. I'll be honest. It was nice being able to beat up on the Red Wings, because man, when the division. I remember when the realigned divisions came out last year. It was, oh cool, they're back in the division with the Red Wings. Oh, that'll be great. Oh, they're back with Columbus. Oh, that'll be cool. Oh no, they've got Tampa Bay. Oh no, this is not going to end well. And so it was nice to have the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets in there from a Blackhawks perspective. It was nice to have those kind of teams more at the Blackhawks level, but then going up against teams like Tampa or I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I should have written it down what the divisions were, but going up against some of the tougher teams, you could just see, oh yeah, they're not ready for this. They're not at that level. Can't we take a break? Why do we have to play Tampa again? Can't we go play Minnesota now, please?
Well, it was funny too. Okay, so they had North, East, Central, and West. And not only that, but each of them were branded even. So they had different promotional companies like actually sponsoring them.
Yeah, well,
Scotiabank North Division.
Right. Well, I mean, anything to make a buck at that point, because they weren't letting fans in for pretty much the entire. When they had to do it, they had no idea when fans would be allowed back in. So it's we got to do something to make some of that money back. I will say, from all the stuff that they did of the Scotia North Bank or those kinds of things,
the Discover Central Division, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't ostentatious. It didn't turn. The jerseys didn't turn into NASCAR.
Yeah,
where. Oh, God, no, we sold this, we sold the ice, we sold the jersey, we sold the helmets, we sold the this, that, or the other thing. It was done tastefully.
Yeah, it's very similar to the NBA with the, they got the little, sticker that says Wish or Bumble or Rakuten or whatever, and then, now hockey has just the one on the helmet. And actually, I was trying to figure that out in the playoffs. I said, okay, so now how many of these with their logo on the helmet, with the sponsor on the helmet, match the sponsor of their stadium?
We're seeing a pattern here.
It wasn't that many, to be honest. But I think like Scotiabank, for instance, was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget who else. But it was definitely interesting to try to figure out.
I've just realizing this now. That was the perfect opportunity for the setup of kind of like my dream. Let's just kind of see how many people are still awake, because any more now with sports, we're all oversaturated with the constant. Everything has to have a corporate sponsor attached to it. I'd love to see mixing and matching, like the Visa halftime show presented by Discover Card, just to see how many people go, wait a minute, the what? This was the perfect opportunity. You'd have United on the helmets, but we're in the Delta Arena or things like that. How could they have mixed and matched? Wait a minute, we're having dueling sponsors here. Who's gonna win?
Conflict of interest.
Yeah, exactly. Get some of that.
It's like that Last Week Tonight episode, John Oliver, and he's talking about college sports and all the different sponsors for stuff, and heaven forbid we have to pay the players of this pittance when we make all these millions of dollars by all these different naming rights. And he's got the one event, the one little halftime show, and it's got 10 different sponsors.
Oh my gosh! Oh my heavens! Yeah. Heaven forbid, we get into that a little bit. Yeah, heaven forbid that the athletes, the people that were there to see, get a benefit from being there, short of, well, you get a free ride. Okay, nice. You still came out ahead about 25 million% on this. I think you're still ahead of the game by enough here. Yep.
Yeah. Well, did you hear their question about the trophies in the playoffs?
No.
Normally you got the Prince of Wales trophy and the other trophy, and one's supposed to go to Eastern and one's supposed to go to Western, right? But with Canada having its own division, having a North division into the playoffs, it wasn't so cut and dry, so they weren't sure. They weren't going to call them, Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals. So they weren't sure who would get which trophy. But I think they eventually resolved it by just saying, well, guys, hello, these teams are all in the East, so they'll get the East trophy, and even though it's not necessarily called West, they'll get the West trophy.
We'll flip a coin if we need to, But yeah, leave it to the NHL. Wait to the last second of, oh, hey guys, by the way, we should figure this out.
Yeah,
these are being assigned now, but
it's the first time we've ever seen where two countries, two teams from the east side of the continent will play each other in the finals. I mean, that's just unheard of, because everything's always been, Eastern and Western Conference Finals and meeting up in the Stanley Cup.
Well, and not only both from the East, in the traditional lineup, they're in the same division.
Yeah.
Montreal and Tampa will play each other 6 or 7 times this year. You think about how in any other sport, oh, hey, we're having a rematch from last year, or heck, even 2 or 3 years ago's championship event. Oh man, this is got to tune in for this.
Or they'll start the new season that way oftentimes.
Right? Yeah. Heck, It's a divisional matchup when they do that this year. It's going to be all the time. Can you imagine every time Montreal goes into Tampa, it's going to be, oh yeah, this is where we got our butts kicked in hard back in the Stanley Cup final. Ugh.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. What did you think about the expanded playoffs? So I know we did the bubble the one year. Did we expand it both years? I forget. I think it went to 24.
It was, yeah. What they did this past year was they said, okay, we've got 8 teams in every division except Canada's only got 7, and they just took the top 4 in each division. So yeah, it was kind of expanded. I liked how they did the playoffs this past year. I thought that was really neat. I don't know how well that would translate to a regular year. I honestly don't know.
It's been a couple months. I already forgot what was different.
Yeah, what they did was you stayed in your division as long as possible. Obviously, they had to do that because of the travel restrictions.
Oh, sure.
They were saying, we can't have teams going up to Canada. We can't have teams leaving Canada until the last possible second.
Sure.
So you stayed in your division. 1 played 4, 2 played 3. Then the winners played each other. From there, that's how you got down to your final 4. And then it was simply, okay, the best one, you re-rank them 1 through 4. 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3. Winners play each other for the Stanley Cup. Obviously, for last year, that was how you had to do it. There, without it getting just needlessly complicated, that was the simplest way to do it. I liked it. I don't know if that'll necessarily, how well that would translate for this year, but I have no problem with them trying that again on an experimental. They change things up every now and again with the playoffs. I have no problem with them trying that again. That was really cool. It was really neat. It was obviously very cut and dried. You knew exactly where you stood. It was, hey, I don't have to worry about the teams outside of my division. I just have to worry about finishing in the top 4 in my division. I kind of liked it. It was very cool. It was very clean, cut and dried. I'd have no problem with them trying that again. I'd be all for it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the expanded playoff like 2 years ago when they had all the teams on the cusp, and they said, okay, well, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, and we'll put you in the playoffs, and then we'll do the extra little round, and then finally put everybody in the actual 16-team playoff.
Yeah, the best of 5 round. That was the best of 5 was so cool to watch, because it was like after one game, it's, oh, you're in the hole. You really can't afford to drop another one of these. It ratcheted up the intensity. They had talked about doing that first round as simply a best of 3, but it was, ironically enough, it was because of the Blackhawks. Basically, Edmonton was looking at it and realizing, hey, chances are we're probably going to get Chicago. We do not want to have to face Patrick Kane in a best of 3. He can single-handedly beat a team twice. We don't want to deal with that. Make the series longer.
Yeah.
So a little badge there for the the Blackhawks pride there. My favorite guy, Patrick Kane. He on the Blackhawks, he is my favorite guy to watch. I love watching Patrick Kane. So anytime that get to brag on him a little bit, it was always kind of fun. But yeah, the expanded, just that whole bubble experience, I thought they did really well a couple years ago. Made the best out of a bad situation there.
Oh, for sure.
There with that. So what are you looking forward to then? What would you like him to see try to carry forward for this season a little bit? Anything from the quirkiness of last year? You want to see him bring it forward, or do you want to know? I don't want any more reminders of the pandemic. Get life back to normal, please.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that latter. For this upcoming season, though, I am really looking forward to seeing the new expansion team, the Seattle Kraken.
Yes, we need to talk about the Kraken. We need to talk about Seattle and expansion teams. And...
You mean we need to release the Kraken?
Speaking of releasing, they released their jerseys today. We need to talk about that too. They released their sweaters today. Those look sharp.
Yeah.
Let's take one before we dive into that. Let's take one more quick break, and then when we come back, let's talk all things expansion. Let's talk Seattle. Let's talk some Vegas too while we're at it. This is the Neutral Zone here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college and the CCCAA and the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I A in the FBS? Well then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Scoreboard Show with your host Gabriel Montoya. This is the show for soccer, football fans, or whatever you call the beautiful game. Every week I tackle the latest and greatest news from around the soccer world, from the English Premier League to the World Cup to MLS, Liga MX, and more. You can listen to the Soccer Scoreboard Show and our lineup of fantastic guests every Friday at noon here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Everybody, this is Darren Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunderous Spikes? then I have the show for you. Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. We are coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Neutral Zone on IE Sports Radio with Adam Karnick and Zach Puplis. We'd like to thank our sponsors today. Gotcha. Southern California Warriors semi-pro football team. The world of semi-pro sports is unlike any other sports organizations. Players pay to play in hopes of so many different outcomes, whether it's playing to get film to try out for professional teams, big-time colleges, or just playing to stay in shape. No matter what, all semi-pro players have one thing in common, and that's playing for the love of the game. The SoCal Warriors have been on a quest to earn titles and give players second chances since 2017. Whether you're in Southern California or anywhere in the world, give semi-pro sports a chance if you love your sport. You may get that second chance you've been waiting for as an athlete. Follow them on social media at SoCal Warriors on Twitter, Instagram at Southern California_Warriors, or look for Southern California Warriors on Facebook. Also, we'd like to thank Background Check International Businesses. Are you looking for background check to hire with a new hire? Let Kit Fremen take care of that for you. Kit founded and has managed Background Check International since 1994, and he's here to help you with the screening process. Contact Kit and let him help make the hiring process that much easier. This business is used for professional background checks and not for the use of any crimes such as illegal activity or identity theft. Follow them on social media or their website bcint.com, or look up Background Check International BCI on Facebook. And don't forget, make sure you follow us on social media at IE Sports Radio on Twitter, at IE Sports Radio on Instagram, IE Sports Radio on Facebook, or our website at iesportsradio.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Go ahead.
I got to look it up. I just made it today. You'd think I'd remember. You'd think I'd remember what our own Twitter handle is, but no, I got to look it up.
At IESR Neutral Zone, and myself at the Puplis, and Adam at
Adam_Karnick. Very nice, Zach. You are a natural. You see, we are just we're hitting the ground running. We're hitting the ice at full speed here tonight. I love it.
It's all those acting lessons, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just for me, it's when you're doing radio. When in doubt, open mouth, say things.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, it only took. We made it 49 minutes before we went off the rails. I think that's an accomplishment for tonight. Not bad. Not bad for a first episode. All right. Well, we do have one more segment before we get out of here tonight. We wanted to kind of talk all things expansion, starting with the Kraken. Zach's wearing his expansionist party shirt tonight. There you go. All right, we're in an expansion mood here.
That's more for college football, but
Yes, when Larry and Terry
expansion.
when Larry and Terry talk about college football on Wednesdays, yes, expand the football playoff. Anything you need to do. Make it happen. Anyway, that's getting even further off topic. We want to talk about the expansion in the NHL, a city that is, of course, near and dear to me because of listeners of Chi-Town Weekly know. I have a sister that lives out in the Seattle area. Seattle is an awesome area. So to have it now be an NHL city is just super, super cool.
For sure. My brother lived out there for, almost a decade out in the Portland, Vancouver area. But yeah, we made trips to Seattle here and there, and it's gorgeous.
Oh, the Emerald City is awesome. We have a show that talks about all things Pacific Northwest. Brad does Northwest Territory Sports on Sundays at 3 o'clock Eastern. I'm doing this off the top of my head. Larry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 o'clock Eastern on Sundays, and it's going to be cool to be able to keep talking about them during the NHL season coming up here in 3 weeks from tonight. The puck drops. So we had the expansion draft, and I know you had lots of notes on that. Very different from when Vegas got to draft its expansion team a few years ago.
Yeah, I think a lot of the teams took lessons from Vegas. It seemed like Vegas grabbed a lot of really good players. And in this one, there were a lot of good players up for grabs, but I was actually quite surprised which ones they took and which ones they held back from taking. Carey Price, for instance.
Yeah, I noticed. I think you and I commented when the expansion draft was done. It was like they didn't take anybody over 30. Everybody was young on this Seattle team. It's like they're maybe not necessarily in a rush to try to get to the Western Conference Final in the first year.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because the Kraken Twitter page kept saying, "Get ready for us to take your favorite player in 2 days, in 1 day, etc." And then they didn't at all. Like, okay, that's weird. They took, they didn't take Carey Price, but they took a flurry of flurries.
You're right. Yeah. I know you've got the list there in front of you. Who are some of the guys that you're looking at? And, I like him. Why'd they take him?
I think Philip Grubauer actually is going to be a good addition to them as their goalie. He's the number one I can think of from the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, well, goalie's everything. Goalie's everything in hockey. You've got to be able to stop. A goalie will carry you through a playoff series. He can carry you to a cup. So.
Just look at Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean,
he's now a Blackhawk. I'm shocked at that, but I'm happy to have him. When we get into the conference previews here the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about Mark. I think he was as surprised as anybody that he's no longer in Vegas.
Yeah.
But
I think he found it on Twitter. Found out.
Hey, wait a minute. What do you mean? Coach, is this true?
There's this thing I saw in college, and it was like the ultimate college truths. Okay, quarters are like gold. Make sure you get enough sleep and go to class, and then the third one was Facebook will know you're single before you will. And I'll bet Marc-Andre Fleury kind of felt like that.
Yeah.
But he was in Pittsburgh for so long, and he got overtaken by Murray, and then so at that point, he's getting older, and maybe they're thinking they're trying to kick the tires, see how many years he's got left, and so then when he gets picked up by Vegas, maybe they weren't expecting as much out of him, but I mean, he just found new life. It was amazing.
Oh, well, that whole Vegas team, and it was amazing I think NHL general managers, the last time when Vegas came up for expansion, I think they forgot that, oh, hey, there's a reason we paid all these players this money because they're good. Teams were in such a hurry to use the expansion draft as a salary dump to try to get under the salary cap because it wasn't growing like they thought it would, because it's based on the Canadian dollar, which doesn't grow like the U.S. dollar does, and things like that, that they were looking at the expansion draft and saying, oh, hey, here's a way to dump salary, and they forgot, well, you don't want to just give away all this talent like Marc-Andre Fleury, for example. They gave away a lot of good players, and I think this year with Seattle, the teams did a better job of protecting some of their better players from the expansion draft, too.
Yeah. Some other notable names. St. Louis Blues gave up Vince Dunn. The Tampa Bay Lightning gave up Yanni Gourde.
Yeah, they can afford to lose somebody.
Yeah, right.
They'll be fine. Who did the Blackhawks give up? I forget who got picked off of the Blackhawks roster. Do you have it up there quickly?
Yeah, I got it pulled. John Quenneville.
That's right. They gave up Coach Q's nephew. That's right.
Oh,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. They gave up Coach Q's kid there with that. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch that. I was just looking on ESPN. My goodness, are they being embraced there in Seattle too? The Kraken, of course, they released their jersey, they've released their logos. Sharp. Sharp.
They look good.
Oh man, do they look good. Apparently, they are just destroying the jersey sales here. They are, per ESPN, sales, in fact, are the highest in league history for a newly released jersey in its first 5 days of availability.
Wow.
People are eating this up out there in Seattle, which is fantastic. I'm looking to see if they have I thought I saw who the top names were. Let's see. Yeah, the top-selling inaugural Kraken jerseys include Grubauer, of course, the goalie. You're going to sell him a lot.
Yep.
Brandon Tanev, Jordan Eberle, and defenseman Jamie Oleksiak. And I think I got all those names right, too. I'm pretty sure. But just so cool to see how excited everybody is out there for the NHL. When travel gets easier and more comfortable and all that, my wife and I now, we have 2 hockey getaway destinations. Vegas, it's Vegas.
Right.
Seattle.
Enough said.
Enough said. Vegas, but now Seattle is definitely on we want to get out there and see this.
Well, and what I find fascinating is, with all the other major sports, it just seems like it might have a little flair of the same stuff, different day. I mean, okay, you might have a different champion every year, but yeah, with the NHL expanding, it's bringing in new blood and new markets, and it's just I find it fascinating. I love being on the cutting edge and the frontier of all this kind of stuff. I'm really excited for the inaugural game on October 12th in Seattle at Vegas.
Yes. Oh, gonna be lots of fun to watch coming up. All right, we made it through an episode. We kept it on the rails. We didn't get too off topic. I call this a success, Zach. What do you think?
Yes, sir.
All right. So one down, many more to go. And we go over the next couple of weeks. We are going to start previewing every single game to launch this. Yeah, I see Larry in the chat right there. Yeah, gotta need new theme music. Yes, those who are fans of Chi-Town Pee-wee, yes, this is the Chi-Town music. We're working on that. We're settling on some things. We'll find it. We'll get there. But we are going to start breaking down the entire NHL. What conference do you think we should do next week, Zach? Should we do East or West?
Go Western.
Go Western. All right, so there you go. We will be discussing the Western Conference next week. We will take the two divisions, the Pacific and the Central, and we will break down each team and see who's good and see
if the Coyotes will still have a home.
Are the Coyotes going to have a home? They already don't have an owner. Are they going to become homeless? We will find out. Thank you to our sponsors, supporting Southern California Warriors and the Background Check International. Thank you for continuing to support us here at IE Sports. We appreciate it. Thank you to Larry for all the hard work that you do. Thank you to Larry for being there in the chat. Karen Davidson being there. Finally, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been an awesome opportunity.
And we will be right here back again, same time, same station next week, Tuesday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern. Come on back. Let's talk some hockey. Until then, everybody be good.